This transaction team is important to Wrigley because we are operating in a different way.
Our model, being in an impulse business at Wrigley, is really a mathematical equation. It's how many shoppers actually come buy my products and what percentage I'm able to convert. And when you multiply the two, you create our business. Now, what's really changed is where shoppers are and where those transactions are taking place. If you don't understand where human beings are going and where those transactions are migrating, my business is shrinking.
Our goal in life is to build the number of transactions that we can sell gum in. And today we do that in traditional channels in food, drug, mass, and convenience. And we do that very successfully, and we're working on how do we improve that, how do we get people to convert more at checkout and all those things. But frankly, we also need to be working on how do we grow the number of transactions that we can sell gum and mints. The purpose of the Transaction Plus team is to be a venture group, to find the new entrepreneurial sources of transactions that nobody else has thought about and experiment and understand. You know, I think we have to think about this venture group differently than we think about the core business, because we know that this venture group is going to find 29 opportunities that we could potentially sell gum and mints, and we know that most of those aren't going to work. So we have to look at, can we find the 2 or 3 that are going to work?
We're looking at how the world operates today and how it could potentially operate tomorrow. We're looking at the outer fringes and at least testing them to see if there are opportunities for us to grow. Are they fads? Are there something that we even need to build and bring into the organization? That's why Transactions Plus is so critical and vital to the success, the long-term success of how Wrigley grows. For me, it doesn't have to be the process itself. It can just be the mindset that people have the freedom to explore or the freedom to tinker, try new things, trial, play.
You know, us starting, with a single machine out in place and really changing the mindset, here at Wrigley of, yes, you can sell more than 100 packs of gum in one location. It's a new way of thinking.
One of the most exciting things that we're working on is really looking at the millennial office, the office space of the future, right? Where our target consumers are going to be and spend an awful lot of their time. We're working with partners like JLL and Kimberly-Clark to talk about how do we build the perfect office and how can Wrigley products play a role in engaging those associates throughout the day within that office experience.
So when I go home and my wife asks me about my day, where it's not always okay, where I have something that sticks.
Clearly there's something about changing the scenery. Even watching a YouTube video, you're changing visually, stimulus what you're seeing, you're helping to reset your mind, you're getting it off of work.
What this transaction team is actually doing is it's helping us collaborate with non-competing partners around a certain space that we believe has a growth opportunity. And we're, with this group and the way in which we're business modeling this, we're actually creating a story that we can help to sell this benefit internally and externally.
It's very refreshing to be able to work alongside Wrigley because of our industry differences in JLL and Wrigley, our clientele and our customer differences from a B2B perspective to a B2C perspective. So it's really refreshing. It makes us think outside the box and it kind of gets rid of some of those constraints that we have on everyday business.
So I believe that there is an opportunity to play differently and to change the game and operate differently, to be able to create an experience that singular products or brands or partners individually could ever deliver on their own.
I thought it was interesting that they brought someone in from the outside, a Wrigley person but a global person who doesn't necessarily work at the River North sales office. They came from the global part of Wrigley, and I think it was good because they were able to come in and they weren't really set in their ways, and it was a little bit of a bumpy road, I think, for William, just learning the culture of River North, but at the same time I think he was able to challenge things that had been established for a long time.
That's still an opportunity to grow talent and thus grow the company. So I believe there's a people component to this as well that I really enjoy, and it brings me great pleasure to see other people succeed. And a lot of people, it's really hard to switch on to understanding that if I put something out there in the world and it fails, I have not failed, right? The company has not failed, but we've learned and we've gained.
When I look at QSR, look at Millennial Office, or even spaces like micro vending, I think what you're going to find is that we have some very good competitors, and competitors that are facing the same challenges that we have. I haven't necessarily seen our competitors take the same approach as us. As we start to get market success, they will be fast followers.